Hey everyone, Mr. Aaron's again. Today we're actually continuing with our lesson from yesterday, lesson 1.3. We were talking about evaluating expressions. We had a little bit of substitution. I think it went pretty well. So we're going to carry on with that, get a little bit more in depth, but mostly it's just going to be a refresher of what we did yesterday. All right, so right away we talked about evaluating yesterday. We talked about within an algebraic expression. So those of you that remember an algebraic expression, it is an expression that has a variable in it. Now we've got to remember what a variable is, and remember our variables are our letters that represent numbers. So here's a quick example of what an algebraic expression would be. For example, x plus 5. Our variable is x. Our number is 5. We don't know what the variable means. It kind of represents a question mark, but that's an algebraic expression. And then we also talked about PEMDAS for our orders of operations. And that's how we're going to solve these algebraic expressions, is using our PEMDAS technique, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, in that order. So when we're solving a problem, we have to take these 6 steps to solve it in the correct order. All right, so we're going to look at our first problem here. And we have j times 5 plus k, and they give us this information. For j equals 11, for k equals 4. So they're saying for this problem, j is going to equal 11, k is going to equal 4. What can we do with these? We can plug them right into their correct spots. So we'll plug them in right there, and we can rewrite this problem like this. 11, 5 plus k. Perfect. Oh, I should have replaced this as well. So that's going to become 11, 5 plus 4. So there we have our j equals 11, our k equals 4. I plugged those right in. So we replaced, by definition, replaced the variables with the numbers. We did that already. These were our variables. We replaced them and got this. Next we have to do is PEMDAS. So we start with our parentheses. Right here I noticed that we do have parentheses right here, right here. So the first thing we do is we solve the parentheses. That means we don't do anything outside of it. We do the inside. So right now, mental math, 5 plus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can rewrite like this. So we solved for the parentheses. The parentheses done. We got a 9 in there. Next, exponents. Exponents, remember, are little like 2s, 3s, squares, things like that. So we don't have any in this problem, so we can skip that step. Next up is multiplication. Do we have any multiplication? Well, I don't see a multiplication sign. Well, we got to remember, when two things are touching with parentheses, or for example, if it was something like 9x, that's not a multiplication, that's an x. Let's actually use a different letter, so scratch that. 9g, we would still multiply these together. If there's nothing but they're touching, if they're touching each other, but there's no symbol, that means a multiplication. So we know we have to multiply these. Mental math, 9 times 11, 99. There's no more steps to solve, no more division, addition, subtraction. We have our final answer, 99. Easy refresher of yesterday. Move on to the next one. Here we're going to get a chance to practice what I was just talking about. We have our RST. Our first step is to replace the variables with numbers. We have our variables right here, RST. We know R stands for 5, so I'm going to replace that. We know S stands for 5. We know T stands for 5. Now, right now I wrote 5, 5, 5. What do I have to do here? RST. You're imagining when these variables are touching, there's little multiplication symbols between them. You could write it like that. If you wanted to, you could write it like this if you wanted to. You can rewrite it like this if you want to. However you want to do it. But we replace those, we know we have 5 times 5 times 5. That's okay. R can represent 5, S can represent 5, and T can represent 5. Different variables can represent the same number. That's okay. Okay, so we got 5 times 5 times 5. Where do we start here? We do our PEMDAS. We got no parentheses, unless we do this one, but the parentheses are already solved. Our second one, exponents, we got no exponents. Multiplication, here we go. 5 times 5, you know that, 25. That leaves us with 25 times 5, which is 125. I was able to do that quick because I know 25 times 4 is 100. Add one more 5 on, 125. Easy work. We're using that PEMDAS for replacing those variables. All right, now we're on to our word problems. You're going to see one of these on your homework, I believe, maybe two. So we're going to do a problem that's pretty similar to it. So if you're getting stuck on your homework, this is the problem to look back on. All right, so we're going to write an expression for the number. I'm going to underline the words that I think might be key. For the number of miles a biker goes in H hours biking at 15 miles per hour. Okay, and then the second part's going to be the second part of the question, so we're going to wait for that for now. So we're going to write an expression for the number of miles a biker goes in H hours biking at 15 miles per hour. They gave me my variable right here. They told me they want me to use H, so we're going to toss in H is one of our keys here, and we have 15 miles per hour. That's what we know. So if we know it goes 15 miles per hour, the biker is going 15 miles per hour in H hours. So that means 15 H would represent the miles per hour, and H represents the hours. So what we should be able to do here is for any amount of hours, plug it right in there and figure out how many miles this biker has gone, because we know they're going 15 miles in 1 hour. So if here's my hour, they went 15 miles. For every hour I were to add on, if I wanted H to be 3, I'd do 3 of these. That one's kind of small. So this is our expression right here, 15H. Now we have the question, then find how far they go in 3 hours. So what should we do with 3 hours? We can plug 3 hours right into H, like I said. They gave us an amount of hours, so we got 15, plug in 3. Go to our PEMDAS, we got parentheses. The parentheses are already solved. There's nothing to solve there. Exponents, we got none. Multiplication, 15 times 3. 15 times 2 is 30. Times 15, or add 15 more of that, equals 45. Not quite done yet, though. 45 what? 45 miles. So we figured out in 3 hours, we plugged in 3 for H, 45 miles. You're going to have a problem very similar to that on your homework. So if you get stuck, come back and look at this. All right, there's a little refresher of yesterday, a little bit more added on. Lesson 1.3, evaluating expressions. Nice job, everyone.